Hey guys, this is Ollie right here. I'm going to be assessing Evan's play with the King 5 suited hand in the Monday Million. I thought it was a really interesting hand, and a lot of people were giving Evan shit for and calling it a punt or whatever. I'm going to prove that it's actually like an okay play. Depends on a lot of stuff, and we will talk about it throughout the video. So let's start with the open range. Evan opens in the cutoff. Why is it? Let me just go right here. He's opening 28.5% of the time, raising all pairs, all suited aces, all suited kings. He's raising Queen 7 suited, Jack 8 suited. Yeah, you can just see he's raising all broadways. Not much more to say. Very standard opening range for the cutoff. Now, we have villain calling 4s through 10s. 10s will mostly 3-bits, so will 9, I think. But to just give him a few more hands, it doesn't really matter for the point of this video. He was calling most suited broadways, and then I had it weighted for the ace 5 through ace deuce suited, where he calls those 40% of the time, meaning he either 3-bets or folds them 60% of the time, depending on the strategy. I think most good players are going to be mixing strategies with almost all of these hands. But for simplicity's sake and for the point of the video, we're not going to get that deep into it. So we had him play a pretty pure strategy other than a 40% call with the low suited aces. Now I want to preface this by saying that I would love to actually do this on Pio Solver. It would make it a lot easier. However, I'm in Vegas right now, don't have Pio Solver on this laptop, so we'll have to work with it. Now, on the flop of Queen of Spades, 10 of Clubs, 5 of Spades, Evan ended up going with a small sizing, which I think is a winning play. I think with this sizing, you should bet the vast majority of your range. He bet 62.4K into a pot of 190K. So it's a winning play for sure. Like if you look quickly, it's generating 137K in EV if you use this betting range here, which is making money. It's making 4.5 bigs overall. However, I think there is a better strategy here. I think playing a very heavy checking range or a larger size range is going to be the optimal lines here. I think this board connects with villain very well. Thus, him having a slight equity advantage, I believe. Yeah, he has a slight. If you look at the graph at the bottom, he has where it says equity distribution. He has 51.6%, while we only have 48%. And in most cases, when that is the case, we should be doing a lot of checking. So in this case, like this bet is generating EV just because small bets are generating EV a lot of the time here, but in the actual spot, I think if you're just trying to play your best, I think checking a lot or go for bigger sizing is going to be the play. In this case, however, when we bet this size, I had Evan bet 71% of hands. When you're betting this size, you're only betting 71% of hands, and that includes stuff like 6s through 9s. That's like not really what you want to happen. When you're betting this size, you want to be able to bet even more than this, and I just couldn't think of hands that could bet here. Sorry about that. That could bet here for this sizing. They made it enough times that he's betting. Sorry, I jumbled that up a little bit. But I think you understand what I'm saying. And basically, I'm sorry. The reason it's only 71% of hands is because I don't have the ace 9 through ace 6 suited of spades here. I think a lot of those could want to check, and also the turn is the ace of spades as well. So I slightly messed up there, but it's okay because it doesn't actually matter for the point of the video. I'm just saying, like I'm just showing you the hands that might want to go for a bet here. And basically, we have villain calling about half the time. We have him calling one combo of 5s for a set. I think he'll be raising that a lot. We have him calling one combo of Queen 10 suited for top 2. I think people will raise that a lot. And then we have him calling stuff like Ace Jack off, King Jack off, and then all the Queen X, of course, and his 10X, and then his flush draws as well. He's actually calling a little more than this because the Ace of Spades is the turn card. So he doesn't have the Ace 5 or Ace Deuce suited and stuff like that. But it doesn't actually matter for this spot. So now let's make it more real and put the Ace of Spades in there. Since now in turn we're betting, our range changes significantly. We are betting our sets still, and we're betting all of our flushes. But however, we start checking some of our two pairs like Ace 5 suited. We'll check some Ace 10. We'll check some King Jack combos and Ace and other two pair combos. Basically, if we don't have a spade here with our two pairs hands, like a lot of it should be going with the check route. And the reason for that is because the ones with spades are generating more EV, and they block hands that beat us. However, if you have a hand like Ace 10 of diamonds or a hand like Queen 10 of hearts, we are not blocking any of the straights, we are not blocking any of the flushes, thus making the EV of betting that hand significantly less than it would be if we had a spade in our hand, blocking more hands that beat us, if that makes sense. Now, we have him calling a lot on the turn. I gave him an 85% and he's going to call on the turn. But one thing first. On the ace space turn is actually very huge because I know I didn't put it in here, but because I messed up on this a little bit. But on the flop, if we have all the ace of spades, X combos, flush draws, basically we'll have about 30 flush draw combos while he'll have about 14. And on the turn, we lose 10 combos, so we have about 20. While he only has 6 or 7, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, we still have 19 flush combos while he has 8 combos. Okay, so I was off, but he only has 8 combos, but we have 19. So we have way more flushes, and we both have the same amount of straights, and we have slightly more sets as well. So we do have still a lot of stronger hands than he does. However, he has more. We have stuff like King 10 off, Jack 10 off, that's bluffing, King 5 suited, that's bluffing, while he. And we also have all the stuff that bets flop for the small, like that we're just checking now. As you can see, we start checking heaps. We start checking 70% hands. So we have all the 9s through 6s stuff. We have a lot of our 10x. We have all of our Queen X stuff like Jack 9 suited, no spade, Jack 8 suited, and we're just checking a shitload here, while he has a lot of stuff that's like pair plus gut shot plus, thus actually giving him a pretty significant range advantage here. As you can see, our range only has 42% equity against his 58% equity range, so that's why we have to check a lot on the turn. And we even check stuff like two pair, like I mentioned earlier. But basically, we're gonna bet this range, and I am 85% calling range, which is like way too much. But the thing is, this is what his like villain in games calling range is, because he's calling stuff like Queen Jack, King Queen, Ace Jack, which are losing calls. Just like Queen Jack's like the most trivial fold ever. But considering this guy had Queen Jack off in the actual hand, I'm just giving it to him to prove a point on the river. So, but he should be folding all those. So he should be calling significantly less. He should be calling way less. And the thing is, even though he's still calling all those stuff, hands like King 5 suited are still generating EV right now, a positive EV. So the thing is, even if those calling that much, we can still be we can still have bluffs like King 5 suited and hands like King 10 and Jack 10 with a spade. Those are great bluffs because we block straights and flushes, the most common flushes, of course. So that's also very important. Now on the river is where I mostly want to talk about. Like the The flop and turn, I basically just like skim through. You could talk a lot more about it, but it's just not important for the point of the video right now. So let's run that. Okay, so now on the river, what did I do here? Oh, I put the wrong card in the river. I was so confused. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now on the river, Evan bets nearly pot, right? So if we're playing if we're trying to bet at an equilibrium and try to play as GTO as possible, we should be betting here. If we're betting for this size, we should be bluffing about 32% of the time, and we have 17 flush combos. Yeah, on this river, we're checking our straights and stuff. Basically, I think it should be very polar in this spot, especially if you're going pot size bet. So we're betting flushes and bluffs here, and we have 17 flush combos. And with 17 flush combos, we need 8 bluff combos to be bluffing 32% of the time. And for betting all king 10 off with a spade, all king 5 suited, we're only bluffing 6. So we're actually under bluffing, even though we put a hand in our range and most people won't bluff. Like on this river, 2 pairs, people have like king 10 or king 5, they almost always check. But Evan actually went for it, and he was still under bluffing. But the issue, and that's like good if the guy was playing a good strategy. However, I gave villain calling any straight plus. As you can see, he's calling 68% of the time. He is way over calling. He should be calling 50% of range here if we're bluffing 8 combos. But he's significantly over calling, and as you can see, all of his straights are losing money here, like losing significant amount of EV. Here, let me just show you real quick. Stuff like Queen Jack off losing 4 bigs, Ace Jack off losing 4 bigs. Like all of his straights are losing significant. Not significant. Like 4 bigs isn't that much, but it's still losing, right? Now, considering he has that range, King 5 suited is losing about 230k or 7 bigs, 8 bigs, which is quite a bit to be losing. But if you look at our EV in the spot, in general, we're generating 650k of EV, which is over 20 bigs, 22 bigs about. While if he's actually generating negative EV, so we're still generating heaps of EV with our overall range. And on this river, he has a slight equity advantage, but once we bet, look how it shifts. We have 72%, while he only has 27.5%. That's a huge advantage. Like, he's gonna be way overcalling here and losing so much money with his straights here that all of our flushes are gonna be printing. Considering he has stuff like Queen Jack off, our King 5 play is losing. But here, let's edit his range a little bit to just take out the Queen Jack combos. Like most people might even fold King Queen and stuff, but let's just take out the Queen Jack combos. Now our King 5 suited is only losing about 4.5 bigs, so it's losing about half of what it was losing before, which is huge. And the thing is, now he's only calling 59%, and he's still over calling. His straights are all still losing because we are under bluffing, and he is over calling, and he's still generating negative EV. Well, we're still generating over 20 BB of EV with our overall range. So in this spot, we're printing so much money, while he's still losing money, even though he doesn't have Queen Jack in his range. And against anyone like decent, this King 5 suited play is good, because if I was in the villain spot and someone did this against me, I would be folding low straights. Low flushes, stuff like 9-8 suited, 8-7 suited, and his play with King 5 suited is printing money. Just because I wouldn't expect people to bluff, and people should only be bluffing flushes plus here. So if that were the case, if in Evan's spot you just had no bluffs, King 5, King 10, we'll take that out. As you can see, even the lower flush combos are losing money by calling. So villain should be folding even flushes here against most people. Now, people aren't folding flushes, and tournament poker players aren't very good at poker, so a lot of them will call most straights. Thus, overall, Evans' play against people who fold queen jack off and call most straights on the river is losing about 4 bigs, which isn't that much. So it's okay. Like if he was playing like a like 2-5 zoom on stars, his play would be doing well. However, this is a weak tournament. It's the Monday Million, which are very soft. Uh, it's a very soft tournament. Really bad players and a lot of money up top. So in this case, I would probably eat. I would probably just underbluff just because I would expect to be able to call straights. But I'm like, I really liked his play, to be honest. Again, if he was playing against me, it would work. It would be generating EV always. So overall, the play was losing money, but not that much money against most people. Like, this guy is losing 8 bigs, which is annoying. It hurts a little bit, but definitely can't hate on the play. Well, I wouldn't call it a punt by any means. And yeah, there's not much more to say about that play. Thanks for watching.